What's up, everybody? Welcome in to another episode of the Fantasy Football Game Show here on Better Sports Network, brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-host, John Lou Garofalo. And joining us today, we have our great friend and special guest, Tommy Moe, here with us. For those of you that do not know Tommy, come on. You can find him on Twitter at 2on1 Tommy. He is the writer of the FSWA finalist for Best Football Article series last year with his Breaking Bread series, and he creates creative content over at The Undroppables. Tommy, thank you so much for coming on with us today, my friend.
What's up, Simon? What's up, JL? Can you guys hear me okay?
We can.
Awesome, because I am the king of technical difficulties over here. Trying to get my audio set up, my video set up. There's always problem. I'm not even on the right video camera right now, but we're making it work.
I like it. We got the under chin Tommy can.
A little bit. Trying to get this a little higher. There we go.
Oh.
But I have to hold it there the whole time, and that's just going to be
I like Tommy from all angles. Whatever angle you'll show us is the angle I'll take.
Well, and JL's seen all the angles in real life at this point.
Every single one. 360, baby.
Well, guys, we got some people in the chat ready for today's show. Craig, our chat historian, in here saying today's guest is making their 6th overall FYF appearance and their first FYF mock draft appearance. Number 6, first time mock drafting with us. Damon here with the hello, everybody. FYF time. What's up, Dame?
What up, Dame?
We got Jay in the chat saying afternoon, FYFers. What's up, Jay? Glad to have you in here. And Scampers with the beautiful afternoon, FYF.
No.
I've heard.
Scared of bees.
I am terrified of bees. Nope. Tommy, where do you stand on bees?
Bees?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you guys know or don't know, I am actually a wildlife biologist in my day life. And how I currently feel about bees is we are currently looking for an endangered bumblebee here in California. We have it's a candidate species for listing under the California Endangered Species Act. And so now we are looking for crotch bumblebee, an potentially endangered bumblebee.
Shut up.
I swear to God, I have to help clients do it all the time. We're out there with our binoculars and cameras looking for bumblebees. We caught one, actually found one. We caught it.
You caught what?
A bumblebee, a crotch bumblebee.
A crotch bumblebee.
Caught it by the crotch, right? We grabbed its crotch. We caught it by
this is so made up.
And then we put it in the freezer. We froze it. And then we tied a string around it, and then it swung around. It was a little friend for.
Did you
we didn't
fly?
do the last part. No, we did freeze it, but we did have to look at it, put it in a vial, make sure it was actually the crotch bumblebee, and it totally was. So I know it's a side tangent story. Neither of you were expecting to hear today, but when you bring up bees like that, it's going to happen.
That was the best response you could have given. Actually, I recently caught an endangered crotch bumblebee and put it in a freezer.
That was awesome. Now I have a very fun fact to tell people at parties.
We got Maria in the chat with an hello. What's up, Maria? And Andrea said, it won't let me be on Sleeper to draft. Make sure you open it up on your phone and click that mock drafts button. Maybe close out the app and reopen it if you're having trouble. I know you grabbed one of those slots in there. We got Twin in here saying, yo. What's up, Twin? Saying there's one more spot open, but it has been filled. And Jay down here saying, man, these STDs are getting wild. Yeah, we just had to worry about crabs back in my day. Now we got crotch bumblebees as well.
Bumblebees.
Better watch out.
All right. Well, guys, today we brought Tommy here to mock draft with us. Like we've mentioned, we are going to do a 10-team PPR SuperFlex redraft mock here. I know we do mostly 12 teams, but myself included, and I know a lot of you play in 10-team leagues. My ever so important home league, the one that evades my championship every single year, is a 10-team league. So I know people like to crap on them, but I love the 10-team format. We're going to make sure that the slight strategy differences we hit on today. Before we get into that, though, a couple reminders. First and foremost, if you're not following our guest Tommy, remedy that right now. You can find him on Twitter at 2on1 Tommy. It's right there below his handsome face on the screen. You can also find it in the link below this YouTube video, whether you're watching on BSN or on Front Yard Fantasy. After you follow Tommy, make sure you come back over here on the YouTube channel where you're watching this and hit that subscribe button. It's the easiest way to show your support for what we're doing. And if you hit that little notification bell, you can make sure you never miss us going live at roughly 3 p.m. Eastern time every single day.
Roughly approximately on time.
We need Jay, my boy Jay knows what's up. That comment that came in.
He knows what's up.
There it is, Jay.
The scientific name is Bombus crotchi.
Yep.
This garage eye.
Where
By the way,
Joey is
Simon,
at.
how many years have you been in that home league that you haven't won?
Should definitely not say that at the airport.
Since junior year of high school, since 2011.
Dude,
I've come in second, like
how
I'd
many
say
times?
90% of the years. Like there's been like 1 or 2 years where I didn't come in second.
Yeah.
I consistently make it to the finals and then just get obliterated
Yeah.
every year.
Dude, same here. I've won all kinds of leagues, dynasty leagues, crazy college fantasy leagues. Never won my home league. Same there with you. I was the commissioner for like 11 years. I finally quit because I was like, maybe that's the problem. I got the commissioner first, right? Maybe that's why I'm not winning. And so, yeah, second place a bunch of times. Lost last year on a tiebreaker. Was actually,
Oh no.
yeah. So I could have won the whole thing, and literally a tiebreaker killed me. So it's just, I feel you on that home league, and it's a 10.
You had a tiebreaker, and there was no tiebreaker.
There was. So our tiebreaker is if there's ever a tie, and we do whole points only, no decimal points. So
No.
if there's ever a tie,
That's some home league rules right there.
yeah, because we got tired of that, like losing by 0.2 bullshit. So we made it full points.
We prefer tying.
Yeah. So but people tie, and so the tiebreaker always is it's their next highest score on your bench that's not a quarterback.
Huh.
So the next wide receiver, tight end, running back, whoever scores the most on your bench, that's the tiebreaker.
So if you make a bad start and tie, you can still maybe get rewarded for having that
Right.
dude on the bench. You went back and forth on the start sit, started the wrong one, but bam, dude blew up on your bench. You had Jared McKinnon sit there. You might
exactly. So
still
if
win
you're
that game.
behind, everyone's like hoping at least give me a tie. As long as I get tie, I'm gonna somehow win this game. But yeah, losing on a tiebreaker in the finals, that's rough.
Wild.
That's absolutely awful. Maria wants to know, did we cover where Joey is yet? JL, where is Joey?
Joey is in side of himself.
Wow.
He lost something up there, and he got too deep. He went full circle, and he's gone now. He's lost in limbo.
It's somewhere between Inside Out and that episode of the Magic School Bus. Like he is definitely not in his brain, but there is some sort of like etherealness to the part of his body that he's inside looking for this item. So
not comfortable. That's
best of luck, Joey. I hope you make it out all right. Well, guys, today we are going to do our 10-team mock draft. I'm going to go ahead and get this started here. Tommy has, which pick do you have, Tommy? The 4th pick. I've got the 7th pick. John Luke has the 10th pick, and a bunch of you drafting in between that. We'll hit start, and then I saw a question from Grim that while the first couple picks are being made, I wanted to throw to you guys.
This is Superflex and redraft, correct?
Superflex and redraft. Start 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex, 1 superflex, and we will do as many bench as we have time to do before the show runs out. JL.
Simon.
I'm going to ask this to you because we love talking about our Clemson players, even if other people sometimes think that player is irrelevant. Grim wants to know, will the loss of Ray McLeod for 8 weeks affect the offense of the 49ers?
Listen, Grim, I'm going to be honest with you. It's absolutely going to affect the offense. We haven't seen a Ray McLeodless offense from the 49ers in some time. So, yeah, I think this is going to affect them. I would expect just less points overall, definitely less punt returns from the San Francisco special teams unit.
I was going to say more serious, like probably not, but the one way it could affect it is they could have slightly worse field position because he is one of their better return men. So maybe they're just starting a little bit further behind than they would normally. But overall, I wouldn't worry too much about this.
Team culture is definitely suffering without Ray McLeod. That's for sure.
One less Tiger in there is going to hurt it.
They start, further back. That's just more yards for Deebo Samuel to gain. So
there you go. Net positive on Deebo.
Net positive for Deebo Samuel, everybody. We're starting off with 3 quarterbacks here. Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen, putting Tommy on the board. Curious to see if he'll go with the 4th quarterback in a row here in Superflex or if he's going a different direction.
Well, I mean, definitely thinking quarterback, and this would have been a smash a couple of weeks ago before Joe Burrow tweaked his ankle. Or was it his ankle? What was his knee? It was his knee.
His calf, right?
His calf? Something.
I think it was his
leg,
calf.
Whatever.
I feel like I remember a tongue-in-cheek tweet by the Bengals saying, like, stop calling us and offering us your calves. It doesn't work like that.
Right. Yeah. So without Burrow there as a smash and my time running out, I'm just gonna go best player available. Best player on the board, Justin Jefferson.
That's what I was curious if you were going to do. I was hoping sitting there at 8 that maybe a bunch of quarterbacks would go and he would fall to meet there, but no such luck. So you Justin Jefferson in non-super flex leagues, is he your 101? Tommy, if you've got the first overall pick, is that where you're going?
See, I hate this question because, like, I change my mind and strategy on every single league and how I approach it and what I would.
Yes.
But yeah, I think you're not in a single quarterback league. You're not going wrong with Justin Jefferson first. If you go zero running back strategy, hero running back strategy, that's definitely the way to go. I think the range of outcomes at the running back position at the elite tier now are just probably the biggest they've ever been in a few years. There's no more slam dunk, even CMC, it's so that was the other, thought there. Lamar, I think, went right after me. That's a great pick. Again, if Joe Burrow was fully healthy and on the same momentum that we've been on all summer for the Bengals, that would have been my pick easily. And so now that there's just a little bit of question mark, I just want to go with someone that I'm a lot more sure with, and that's Justin Jefferson.
That makes sense. I was really hoping Justin Herbert was sitting right there. Just of the slight worry about the calf strain, put Herbert ahead of Burrow for me a little bit for the time being. But since Herbert was gone, I'll grab Travis Kelce in a 10-team league to get that positional advantage at the tight end position. Twin down, you're confirming it was a calf strain, and Jay wants to know, Joe Burrow has cows?
Jaburo has cows.
Brother of Geppetto. What are Joe Burrow's cows' names, JL?
Clark,
both of them. They're both named Clark. Clark and Clark.
Weird choice.
You say one name, they both come. I guess it's
yes, it's sufficient.
Hey, Clark, they all just come on in.
Are you allowed to name all your kids the same thing?
It's really more of just a command.
Look at George Foreman did. They're all named George Foreman.
That's right. Every single one of his kids.
George Foreman.
Yeah, it was like George Foreman the 8th at this point or something.
And can you imagine like being the third behind your brother and then being the 4th behind your other two brothers? Like,
is that how that works?
I don't think so.
Aren't they just like, this is George Foreman 4A?
Exactly. This is George Foreman the second.
4th A.
This is George Foreman Junior 2.
Junior
2.
JL,
the other thing now, too, thinking about Jefferson first, if this was a 12-team league, me going quarterback is more likely, in the first round. I think in a 10-team league, you can roll the dice a little bit, that some of those guys are going to fall. The second tier quarterbacks are still really good, could come back around to you a lot easier in a 10-team league.
Yeah. I was looking at the quarterbacks there on the board, and that was part of my decision making whenever I decided to go Kelce there. Is like, I think I'm going to be all right with the name that I get here on the way back as my first quarterback.
And tight end premium, right? We said,
or no, this is not tight end premium.
Okay. So it wouldn't matter for me because I still fade tight ends, even in tight end premium.
I dropped Kelce or wait until I want to cry based on the names left on the board. That's my tight end strategy. We had a question in here from the Humbert. Wanted to know, is it worth it to take a risk this season with Sky Moore? Tommy, I'll throw this one to you first. Are you interested in Sky Moore on the Chiefs offense this year?
Yeah, I think at the right ADP. I don't have it offhand with me with what it is, but yeah, I like Sky Moore a lot. I think anything outside Travis Kelce is just a toss-up in that offense. Now that Tyreek's gone, I think anyone else could get the ball, but it's going to be, hope for the best. He's a great athlete. He's been in that system now a full year. So, I like Sky Moore a lot. I just personally, I don't do projections, so I haven't checked projections on him. But I also, outside of Travis Kelce, I'm not that comfortable with any of the other pass catchers either. So I think if he's there and available, like might as well take him. Of course, at the right ADP.
I'm with you. He's going a couple rounds after Kadarius Toney. We mentioned that on the show yesterday, and at that price, you can draft him. He's draftable, but don't expect consistency. I don't think the most likely outcome is him breaking out as the clear one in that offense.
Yeah, high ceiling, low floor kind of a guy.
And also, Twin in here said the Joey Ouroboros, which is exactly what I was imagining, Twin.
Is that like
that's the dragon eating its tail from Full Metal? It's not from Full Metal Alchemist, but I think it's in that.
For some reason in my mind, I was imagining like the Aurora Borealis.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
It's just, oh, hi. Just floating around in the sky.
Joey's face in the northern lights.
Screaming neon green. Ah!
Olivia!
Tommy, it came back to you. You grabbed Deshaun Watson on the way back. Are you expecting this Cleveland offense to be more pass heavy this year? Because that's what all the talks out of camp are sounding like so far.
Yeah, a little bit. I I was definitely off on Deshaun last year, but I really like the weapons around him. I've been a lifelong, well documented Amari Cooper hater. The fantasy locust.
Oh,
He's
man.
definitely going to be good half the time. But when he's good, that half did you say ouch, Simon? We can go back and look at all the stats to prove that he's only good half the time.
Look at over his right shoulder. Look at over right Simon's shoulder.
Yes. Oh, that's right. My bad, Simon. Sorry.
I'm just
look at here. That's why I hate him, because I'm a Ravens fan. But no, like those 50% of the games he plays, he's going to be dominant. And yeah, I like was it the rapport with Njoku's been really good in camp. I really like his potential this year, especially right here in the second round. I think he has easy potential to be a top 10 quarterback this year.
Yeah. John Luke, you started out pretty hot. I'll let Tommy make his pick here with Justin Fields, Jamar Chase. I wish I had your team right now. I would feel a lot more comfortable with Justin Fields, Jamar Chase. How do you feel about a start like this? What does it mean for the rest of your draft?
It means great things. I think it's a great foundation. Justin Fields here on the end of the first round feels like a great pick because he has the ability to finish higher than this, higher than all the quarterbacks that went ahead of him. Justin Fields could do this season. And Jamar Chase is just, anchoring in that wide receiver position. First few rounds, I'm looking for low risk guys I can really build around.
That makes sense. And with that balanced start, not going to the same position, and with it only being 10 teams, you really haven't locked yourself into any sort of strategy at this point. You don't have to go zero RB. You don't have to go heavy T. You can still do just about anything, but these next two picks might define your draft a little bit.
Oh, boy. Now's the fun times.
Now's the fun times. Twin in here saying Joey as the son in the Teletubbies. And Tommy, while Jail's making his pick, you had an interesting pick here with Jonathan Taylor. He's been falling recently because of worries about him holding out. You decided to take the discount in the third round. Are you worried about him being on the field week one?
Possibly. I'm not worried about him holding out significantly 6 weeks plus. I could see 1 to 3 weeks. But even with that, if when he's on the field, right, he's one of the best players. He's one of the best players to have. And so I believe always take the best player available, even if he's going to be out a little bit. It's obviously baked into the ADP here, as we're seeing. But I can shore up a starter later that's going to carry me for the first 3 weeks that he's out. And then I have Jonathan Taylor and that starter for the whole season, right? Like you can build, especially in a 10-man league, you can build safeguards into your draft strategy that you can run, you can carry that guy being out for a couple of weeks, and it's not a big deal. So that's definitely my plan here. Now, I'll have to consider who's my second, third running back that I take. Probably take someone a little bit earlier than maybe I would if Jonathan Taylor was totally fine to be on the field. But yeah, me personally, I love JT. I think pay the man. It's Jonathan.
Pay the man,
too, man. Pay the man. Like, just
stop saving whales and pay the man.
Just pay the man. Like
it's gonna keep saving whales.
Stop
there's so many things that go back
random
and forth.
rock and roll memorabilia,
right, man? Just I don't get the whole running backs don't matter thing. Like, it's you need quality guys at that position, and so just pay them. Just give them what they do, or restructure the rookie contracts differently so that they, can make their next money after 2 or 3 years. Like, let's just make them shorter, and stop having these guys have to hold out to get what they're due. Cause it's a business at the end of the day, and they're just trying to get their fair market value.
Absolutely. John Luke, You're drafting all the colors. You got one of every color on your team so far. The balanced approach. You drafted Mark Andrews and Derrick Henry. I am probably not even required to ask this at this point, but are you expecting any downgrade in Derrick Henry's rushing ability? It seems like year after year it's being predicted. Year after year he gets insane volume and maintains being one of the best runners in the league. Is this the year, as he's getting older, that the tread starts coming off?
I don't know why I would draft him in the 4th round if I thought it was, but no, I don't think so. I think he's getting older. I do expect some deterioration of his body year to year, but he's Derrick Henry, so yeah, I mean, you got to replace your tires on your Rolls Royce every once in a while. Boo-hoo.
I love the value you got on Mark Andrews. I would rather have Mark Andrews in the 3rd than Travis Kelce in the 1st this year. I've said it before on the show, but I think this is the year Mark Andrews could really close that gap without an injury to Travis Kelce in that like overall tight end 1 conversation with the new offense coming into town in Baltimore. Do you think the upside for Andrews is that high?
Yeah, upside for sure. For sure. I know there's a pretty large gap between Kelce and every other tight end. And that's because Kelce is used way more like a wide receiver than a tight end. So he's got the distinction. But I expect Mark Andrews, who has been, as far as all the tight ends we've seen in recent history, the closest to just being used like a wide receiver in this offense. And I expect that rapport and that relationship to still be there.
Yeah, it's usage, right? Like we can't really try to debate, athleticism type of player. Andrews, Kelce are 2 different guys, but the usage, is similar. The offensive,
Right.
the offensive use of that tight end, how they're going to move him around, is similar. So yeah, I like it. I like him there, but then I think I don't know, the drop off from those 2 it comes pretty big in my opinion. Then
So
you're just hoping.
Is Hawkinson the next guy for you?
I mean, that's where it's at. You're looking at like Hawk or Pitts,
Yeah, there's
Gilbert or Kittle. It's a
definitely a
drop
giant
off.
gap. It's a tier
Yeah,
1, a tier 2. Those 2 have 1 player in them.
right.
Maybe if the Falcons were expected to run like even 1,050 plays this year, Kyle Pitts could be in conversation for that 3rd guy, but I just don't see it. They didn't do anything in that offense to make me think they even want to throw the ball a little bit more. And they're going to need that. Oh, man, I like your second quarterback with Anthony Richardson, Tommy, and you are back on the clock now.
I am trying to, I didn't love some of my picks or options available, like wide receiver, running back. So I just went upside with A-Rich. Yeah, I love all the news coming out of camp. I loved him as a prospect. I just wasn't sure if he was going to really get it done year 1, and I think he could. I really think he has a shot.
Well, and we should see him this week. Reports came out that he was going to start in the week 1 preseason game.
Love it.
Is the CJ Stroud starting tonight for the Texans? Have they said that?
I don't know. I have not seen that.
I haven't seen it. I forgot there's a game. Thank you for reminding me, Simon.
Texans Patriots, baby.
Let's go.
That's some good preseason football. The Bill O'Brien revenge game in the preseason. Come on.
I'm too knee deep in my oldest son's tackle football league that he's in that just started, that I'm like forgetting about like NFL right now.
You got to start fantasy league
for
the little ones.
He plays in the Snoop Dogg youth football league, and I bet we could do a fantasy.
You should
league with those kids. There's some studs in that league. These kids are freaking talented.
Man, this is a very Simon team so far.
Oh my God, I was just about to point out your team, Simon, because I didn't love the Kelce pick to start off, but then the next 4, my God,
money. Well, I mean, we didn't love it because of the player or just the position or what?
I think that comes down to like a difference in philosophies between or strategies between Simon and I. I just tend not to like to reach on tight end, not reach, but like reach for that top for Kelce.
Yeah, go early.
I think then I do that less in less situations than I think what is common. So yeah,
I agree with you there. That's normally my strategy. I like to wait, but when you can lock in the number 1 tight end, like
Makes sense.
And then fill out the rest of the squad pretty nicely. Yeah, especially if you're a 0 running back guy. Like, I like it.
We'll see how the QB2 and the running back position pans out. My team will be made or braid by those positions, but made or braid.
Made or braid.
Made or
Don't braid my team.
braid. Don't braid my team or my armpit hair. Off limits. Dale, you can braid my armpit hair, but no one else can. Okay, Tommy, you can braid my armpit hair too, but no one else besides you two.
That's cool. Is it pretty long? Is it braidable, or like we talking cornrows here?
He's Dutch.
Yeah. So that should.
So it just goes from, it just like
Next
it doesn't
question.
stop. It just goes to your
It loops and connects.
And at the bottom, it turns into a windmill.
Nice.
Also,
in the winter, does it turn to clogs?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the wooden clogs. You can wear them, actually.
That's what I was hoping. It goes down to your feet. Keeps you warm.
I see Andrea in here saying there are 2 games tonight, and I misread the schedule. I thought that said tomorrow at 9 p.m. We get Vikings Seahawks right after that at 9 p.m. It's a doubleheader preseason football night tonight.
Love it.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. And it's not in the Hall of Fame Stadium like the last game was. Did you guys watch the Browns-Jets game, see the blackout?
Yeah.
Where was I? I was either at practice or I was camping.
Practice?
Too.
Badminton practice?
My son's practice, just sitting there judging him for not running fast enough.
I was gonna say, after what you said, whenever the word bees was brought up, I had no idea what kind of practice you were at. It could have been anything.
Could have been anything. JL's like, I'm a man of many. I don't even want to say talents. It's just
man of many things.
Man of many things. Look at my empire of things.
Are you a hobbies guy?
Probably, yeah, a little bit.
I'm a hobbies guy.
I mean, I golf and
what makes you a hobbies guy versus not a hobbies guy?
I mean, yeah, we all play fantasy. That's a hobby, right?
If you're a hobbies guy, the people in your life would call you a hobbies guy. They would say like, "Oh yeah, he's a hobbies guy."
Seems like it's dependent on what type of people are in your life.
My wife would say I'm a hobbies guy. She would say I have a lot of hobbies.
A hobby, well, maybe like a hardcore hobby guy would not call you guys a hobby guy.
Yes. You don't find me at Hobby Lobby very often. I'll tell you that.
No, I also don't frequent Hobby Lobby.
Okay, Simon, what's your thoughts on Etienne this year?
I understand the concerns with Bigsby coming in, but I do think Etienne's just the superior runner and pass catcher, even though they haven't used him in that regard. His ADP got up there quite a bit. He was almost being drafted as an RB1, but he's back a little bit lower now in that RB2 range. And I think he's one of the few guys in that range that has RB1 upside. Like Kenneth Walker, who went right before me to Twin. I've been rising. I think Charbonnet poses a much bigger threat to Walker's productivity this year than Bigsby does to Etienne's. And he went to Clemson, so go Tigers.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I mean, I'm very interested to see how that Charbonnet Walker situation plays out.
Yo, I just keep rising on Charbonnet. Every time I go and watch more, I just keep. Maybe I should stop typing in Charbonnet highlights on YouTube.
Charbonnet best play highlights.
Bomb Productions.
Only good plays.
Only good plays. Please, no bad plays.
I grind film by watching highlights.
I grind highlights.
I grind highlights.
So I'm Greenville, the highlight grinder.
The best of Urban Meyer.
Tank went to Auburn, right? Is that right?
Who?
Tank Bigsby. Did he go to Auburn? Is that who
I believe so, but I'm not good at colleges.
Yeah, and then he transferred from TCU.
Yeah, he played college football at Auburn.
Yeah. So Tank Bigsby's never been the best player on his own team. So I'm just going to say that.
And I understand the arguments against Etienne as a pass catcher, but I think it's less of he can't do it and more of he hasn't been used to. We've seen that multiple times in the league, like with Josh Jacobs, right? He couldn't catch passes because he wasn't catching passes until they gave him 50+ targets. And then all of a sudden he's a pass catching back.
Yeah.
Mr. Scamper said only a poor would put tires on their Rolls Royce.
Only a poor.
Now that I've met that cat in real life, that makes those quotes so much more funny.
Twin said no model trains, Tommy?
See, no, not in my younger days, maybe. Yeah, not now.
If I ever had unlimited income, that's a hobby I think I would accidentally just get way too into. Know what I mean? Like if I had the space and money, like, oh God, that'd be so much fun.
Just sitting, like your station is like in the middle of it, and you just see the trains kind of zooming around you. Right?
Simon invites me to like a dark, random, empty lot somewhere. There's just a warehouse in the back. She opens the door, goes and sits down in the center of it, and she just turns on the lights. It's all trains.
Yep.
Giant empire he's built.
Everything's old school, like switches. You know, there's no flip. It's like
welcome.
I
am the conductor.
I misjudged when quarterbacks would go.
Early.
Now I don't get Jared Goff.
I can't believe all the quarterbacks went before the 8th round.
Damn it!
That was your plan? You like Jared Goff?
Yeah, I like all the other pieces.
Sorry, hold on.
So I have to like Jared Goff.
Hold on, is he on your wall first before I talk crap on him?
No, Jared Goff did not make it on the wall. Yeah, just David Moore and.
Oh, you got 7 seconds.
I know. I'm panicking.
And I'm distracting you.
Whatever. Just full tilt. My draft's ruined. Everything's awful. Why did I draft DeAndre Swift?
I like DeAndre Swift. Good offense, great running back. I don't know.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah. I guess
I don't fall off guys like super fast like some people do. Like I look at like a player as a player, his talent. You know, sometimes new situations are great, and I think you getting him there. I mean, ideally, if he's your RB3, I'd feel a little bit more comfortable. But as your RB2, like I think he'll still produce. At least he's on a good offense.
Yeah. I worry about Rashad Penny there, but then I look at Miles Sanders' production in that offense last year, and there's plenty of touchdowns to go around. The dude had double-digit touchdowns. So the narrative that running backs with Jalen Hurts can't get touchdowns is just not true. So there's definite upside for him, and his draft cost probably more than covers up for the blah that I feel whenever I think about his situation. NKC in here saying, "What's up, guys? On vacation. Chat and Simon. Sorry, JL and Tommy. You're not getting said hi to. On vacation today, so I couldn't draft.
Dang, get wrecked.
All good. Enjoy your vacation, NKC. Have fun."
The other thing, Rashad Penny, I mean, outside of San Diego State, Rashad Penny's never been the best running back on his own team either. So I don't know.
It was like 2 weeks in Seattle where he was the best running back on his team, I think, right?
Hey, Alfred Blue had, or what? Well, not his name. Well, what was it? Jonah Gray had 2 great weeks in New England, and then what happened? You know, like I wouldn't say anyone could get 2 good weeks because we all saw those tweets about could you gain 10 yards with $1 million or whatever. We all know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm not sure I could even survive for $1 million.
Also, this is not tight end premium.
This is not tight end premium.
And JL goes 2 tight ends. Pretty. Oh wow. Okay.
I do.
All right.
Tell us about that, John Luke.
Yeah.
Well, I drafted Kyle Pitts in the 8th round and Mark Andrews in the 3rd round. 2 tight ends.
Very cool. That math adds up to 2 tight ends on your team. Is the plan to start both of these guys most weeks?
I think let me back up. Here, let me just tell you my plan instead of answering that. My plan here, the way I'm thinking about this is Kyle Pitts is about a similar tier level to the wide receivers and running backs available here. And so why not lock up Kyle Pitts, who has this pretty high upside in terms of usage, in terms of talent, and I keep a tight end who potentially has that upside away from my 9 other league mates here, which is an advantage in a smaller league. So yeah, I think it made enough sense to push him over the similarly valued wide receiver talent and running back talent on the board.
Yeah, and again, with a smaller league, you can wait. You can take the risk on waiting on a running back because there's still good running backs available.
Yeah.
12-man league, probably not.
I was considering I got to get another running back here, but I don't. There's plenty of depth still sitting there. I always forget how much of a difference 10 team makes as you get into the 8, 9, 10. You start seeing that value, the additional players in the draft pool. So NKC says he's going to the Pats game tonight.
Hey,
nice. Hey, enjoy the preseason.
Hell yeah.
And Craig, there's a rumor going around, jail, that you have a 3rd tight end, if you know what I mean.
And a 4th and a 5th.
Oh my gosh. So an NKC saying, well, I had 4 quarterbacks last time. That might have been too many quarterbacks, but 2, 3, especially in Superflex. In Superflex, 4 is not too many. It may be 1 too many, but it's reasonable to have like a double backup, one that you're hoping to break out and a backup. But in a 1 QB league, I would probably cap it at 3.
Oh yeah, definitely should not have more than 2 in a 1 QB league, if that.
Cam Akers off the board, and Tommy finally taking a tight end. And I say finally, it's only the 8th round, but you took Pat Freiermuth of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Does this mean you love Kenny Pickett?
Oh man. I think I was on Matt Harmon's podcast, and I was like, dude, I'm stupid because I like Kenny Pickett. Like I liked Kenny Pickett and Pitt. Like I still think he has potential. Like it's probably the one player that like if he fails, I'm just like, yeah, I got to take that one because like I just like him as a player. I think that guy makes plays. He's a playmaker. I like playmakers, right? Like that's like my thing, because that's what it's all about in football, you know. And so I think he has the possibility to have a higher ceiling, even if his floor is not great. But yeah, like that's just one, like, Fantasy Receipts going to have to call me out for that one if he fails. Cause like, I just love the guy, even if it's a stupid thing to like him.
And if you like him, and Pat Freiermuth has a real shot at being the number 2 target in that offense. George Pickens maybe didn't live up to the hopes of people last season. What do you think the upside is for a guy like Pat F?
Well, I at this point, I'm just hoping he's a tight end 1, like, because honestly, Darren Waller was my target, for a little bit later tight end. Actually, yeah, like I didn't want to take him in the round where I took Joe Mixon, but maybe after when I took Drake London. So it's just like kind of the next best after. I mean, Go Dirt, I would have loved to have 2. Pitts, I would have loved to have 2, honestly. So it's just like, okay, I like Pat enough, and a little bit more than like the other guys like that are on the board still. I have 30 seconds, so I'm just going to really quick make my next pick.
It's my bad. It's my classic move to ask a question.
I did to you the last time. I did to you on the last one, so it's fair. It's part of it.
We'll just trade back and forth.
Yeah, you just got to like, hey. I'm just going to reach here a little bit because I like this player too much to let him to even risk passing up on him later.
That's a great pick, Tommy.
And I really want to shore up my my 3rd running back again, like I talked about with if Jonathan Taylor is out. Rashad White's going to get the start, and I can roll with White and Joe Mixon for a few weeks, and then Jonathan Taylor comes back week 3, week 4, maybe, and then we're good. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it.
I love the Rashad White pick. I expect him to be the starter in that offense, and for them to rely on him somewhat heavily with Baker Mayfield and or Kyle Trask.
Yeah, especially in the pass game too. Right, like either one, right? I think either one's going to have to check down to him. I don't think either one's going to have a lot of time. They're going to hope to throw it up to Mike Evans and then check down to Rashad.
Man.
I'm very upset about that Rashad White pick.
Sorry, buddy. He's one of like everyone on the Undroppables loves Rashad White and kind of has for a while. So it's kind of an on-brand pick for us.
That's probably my most drafted player through mocks this offseason. I feel like I've consistently been reaching a little bit. So I love that he's getting some love at the end.
A little bit earlier than 9th, or
no, around this round. If he would have been there, I would have taken him instead of Alvin Kamara right there.
Yeah.
That would have been my next back for sure.
Yeah, I love Kamara too. So kind of the same thing with Jonathan Taylor. We know Kamara is going to miss some time too. Any concerns, especially because you've waited a little bit on running back?
I feel comfortable with ETN and Swift, and there's still plenty of names on the board that if in the next 3 rounds, I can even grab starters still, or people with defined roles in their offense, a pass catching role, a goal line role, that through Kamara's 3 games should be able to get me through. Also, leaving a draft, I am comfortable not knowing who my RB2 is in week 1 in most leagues, because it's one of the positions where the first couple weeks of the season can provide some unreal waiver wire clarity, and you just got to be aggressive. And sometimes you'll miss, but sometimes you'll grab James Conner, or sometimes you'll grab Phillip Lindsay. There's these guys, you'll grab Cordero Patterson off the waiver wire, and all of a sudden you've got your RB2 figured out. Yeah,
that's a great tip for anyone that does zero RB strategy. It's you're going to take a little bit of risk, but that risk pays off, and you kind of need to, right? For fantasy, you have to. Like, very few people win it just by playing it safe.
Yeah, you got to figure out where you want to take that risk, where that risk is worth it to you. So Damon here saying Andrea killing it. JL, what do you think about Andrea's team so far?
Let me look at it. Oh, love the Lamar Jackson pick. Love the Garrett Wilson, Calvin Ridley. Those middle two picks really stand out to me. And then the golf value at the end, just stealing that right out from Simon. Golf seems like the perfect middle round quarterback. I feel like I've just been looking for him in every single draft. So I love that you grabbed him here. Yeah, and then getting great late round running back value, killing it.
Man, Tommy, are you a fan of Andrea's team here? What do you think about the running backs? Because she did wait on running back for quite a while.
Yeah, I think I say we at the Andropolis have been fans of Cam Akers for a while. So I like that pick a lot. James Conner, I was always in on him when other people weren't. And then I ironically off of him last year. And Miles Sanders, I've always been a fan of Miles. And I think in a new situation in Carolina, with Bryce there, I think they might lean on him a little bit. I think it's a lot of potential upside. I think any of those guys could end up being fringe RB1s. And if they all stay healthy and they all, have a great season. But yeah, taking that strategy to wait has definitely paid off, I think, for Andrea. I don't want to say too much because, she's sniping me here a couple times on players. So
I was gonna say I like your team because I'm mad at your team. You got some players that I would have loved to have there with my picks. Amari Cooper, I would have loved to have that turn. Jared Goff, I was hoping to get on the way back. I should have grabbed him there instead of Travis Etienne. And then the Miles Sanders pick and the James Conner picks were great as well.
Yeah, and then my wide receiver strategy is just like size and speed.
Big guys, fast guys.
Big, fast guys.
What do you think DeAndre Hopkins means for Treylon Burks' role in this offense?
Hopefully it just opens it up a little bit for both of them. I think, man, DeAndre still got it, or hopefully he's still got it, right? And that's what we're hoping. But as long as he's producing like we all hope and expect and they're used to seeing from D-Hop, I think that just opens up the field a little bit more. I mean, that's been the biggest thing, issue even with Derrick Henry, right? Like everyone knows Derrick Henry's going to get the ball, so let's stack the box. And so these offenses, even if they're not super high flying, spread the ball around, the Shanahan, the Kingsbury offices, it's still good to have multiple receivers out there spreading the field, getting, opportunities. And so, I like Treylon Burks here because of that potential upside that he has, just because he's so damn big and fast.
So big and fast.
Yeah.
And you're right. Sometimes having another high level receiver taking the top coverage away from you is a plus, even if it means lower volume. The volume is better volume. It's a higher efficiency volume. So I'm not leaving Treylon Burks for dead, but it definitely took some of his upside away, having DeAndre Hopkins in there as the one for me. Andrea is saying that, Tommy, you sniped her on quite a couple players as well. So you guys are just trading picks back and forth.
Nice. I love that. That's one of my favorite things, especially when we did Scott Fishbowl live. I was there with one of our friends, Joe Warriors, or Rick K now. And yeah, just same thing. I was at the 12, he's at the 11. We're just sniping each other all the time. Last year doing it with John, what's John's last name from 4 for 4?
Paulson.
John Paulson. Yeah. just sniping each other all day. And so I love that, aspect, no matter where you're at. It's always like, oh man, that guy's next to me, because it's just going to be rough all day.
Robert's brother?
Robert's brother. Robert Paulson's brother.
His name
is Robert Paulson.
My name is John Paulson.
Took me a second. I love that one. That's a great movie.
I finally grabbed my second quarterback there with Jordan Love. It was much later than I was planning on, but I'm not mad about it. Down here in the 11th round, worked out all right.
I love it. Jordan Love's going to have a year, man.
Like I would have taken Derek Carr over Jordan Love, I think, but my choice last round was, if I take Charbonnet, let's just assume I don't get Derek Carr. I'd be happier with Charbonnet and Jordan Love than one of these running backs that I'm looking at here, like Rashad Penny and Derek Carr.
Hey,
Yeah.
watch your mouth with the shot then.
Jailed Rashad Penny fan number 1.
Well, Carr for me here was to insulate Anthony Richardson. You know, in case something happens, he gets hurt. He's a little bit of riskier play as a rookie. You know, I want a nice, safe guy I could just put in there.
Don't do it, JL.
I might.
Don't do it, JL.
Don't do what?
Tommy already took the quarterback I wanted. Don't take the player I want here.
Be specific.
JL's got to fit in 4 more tight ends before this draft is over. So.
Yeah, I have so much more work to do.
I'd be so sweaty. Just unbelievably
Stay
sweaty. George Pickens for JL. In case he wants to know where is Joey, he is inside of himself on a journey to find his lost item. In both
Aurora Bora Joey.
The Aurora Bora Joey. The Aurora Bora Joey. It's beautiful. It's one of the 7 wonders of the natural Joey.
I still like the Teletubby son one.
Joey as the Teletubby son.
Yeah.
What do you think that baby's doing now? And how often do you think they tell people that they were the baby in the Teletubby son?
Simon, I swear I saw something on the internet about that, like within the last couple months. Like there's an update or something about that kid.
I hope it's not sad. Like
I don't think it is. No, he's not
good.
like a murderer or something.
Sometimes you like wonder what happened, and you look at it and you're like, oh, I wish I would have never looked that up.
That's not good.
I wish that was just a Teletubby son still.
Yes.
JL, thank you. You did not do it, but you had a fun turn here with George Pickens.
That's
a little
fun.
disappointing last year, but still was a highly touted prospect coming into the NFL. And then Zay Flowers, rookie for the Ravens. Are these upside wide receivers here that you're taking shots on?
Yeah, I love some.
No!
There he goes. There he goes. Kyler Murray. Is that who you wanted, Simon?
I would guess.
No, that's not who I wanted.
That's what I thought. Who'd you want?
Bailey Zappi. He's still there. It should be fine.
Zap Master.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think you're overreacting.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Mac Jones is still available.
Hey, Mac Jones.
Some butter.
There's a couple people there.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah. Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Two Gloves.
Don't they all have 2 gloves?
This is like after the kid drops their ice cream cone, but like they're way too far away from the ice cream shop. So you go into the gas station and they're like, you could have like a Snickers. It's almost as good as the ice cream bar.
No, I want my ice cream.
Is it the Snickers ice cream bar though? Because I love that one.
No.
Oh shit.
No, it's not. It is not the Snickers ice cream bar. Well, Z2, you have ruined my draft and my life.
There you go.
Thanks a lot.
Simon's just gonna shut down the stream. Just
well, in the next 10 minutes, I am. That's for sure. Kenny Pickett going off the board. I thought about going Kenny Pickett, but that felt like a tilt pick. I was only going to draft Kyler Murray because you could end up having a top 5 quarterback in double-digit rounds if he gets healthy and comes back and looks like the Kyler Murray that we expect him to be. Just an upside play.
No, I love Kyler Murray pick because I feel like every single super flex draft I've been in, he's been sitting there, and I just want to take him because it's uncertainty. And at this point, you can wait a little bit, take on some of that risk, and then just cut bait a little later on. So I actually really like that pick, Simon. I mean, by Z2, not by you. But.
Tommy, what did Tommy just grab right there? Is that a Kyler Murray championship belt?
Nope.
Wait, we got a solo.
Can you see it?
We're gonna make you big.
Jameson Williams.
Jameson Williams, baby.
My belt.
That's not how you make it big.
There it is.
Oh, that's awesome. That is
beautiful.
Absolutely
courtesy
sick.
of Trophy Smack from the Scott Fishbowl LA draft. I drafted Jameson Williams at the end of the 10th round. And this was which finished was the final pick of that live draft, and I got this belt for it.
It's
awesome.
It's very heavy in person.
It's very heavy.
Much heavier than you'd expect.
Yes.
The belt?
The belt.
Me. Oh, yeah, the belt.
No, Tommy is a lean, mean fighting machine.
Pure muscle.
This man took me to the greatest Mediterranean restaurant in the world in Long Beach.
So good.
Yeah, that I will mess up some Mediterranean food
with the most like potentially like culturally insensitive name ever.
But clever.
Very clever.
But clever. Open sesame.
Open sesame. But it's amazing.
Well,
it's so good.
It's so good.
Bring them in with the potential cultural insensitivity. Keep them with the incredibly good traditional Mediterranean food.
It's the potatoes, right?
Yeah,
John?
the
It's
spicy garlic potatoes are fire. He
So
said
Josh,
9 out of 10 tables order that. And I just thought about that stat for a while, for like days afterwards. 9 out of 10 tables.
order what?
An appetizer, these spicy garlic
potatoes.
Yeah.
So good.
I mean, if you're known for your potatoes, people are going to get the potatoes. And like,
say potatoes one more time.
Who doesn't love a potato with a meal? Like French fries, tater tots, hash browns, baked potato, mashed potatoes. Anchor. Like, oh my God, you can't go wrong. I believe them.
What's the universal blood type?
Potato.
Potato. Trick answer. It's potato.
I think it's O, one of the twos.
That's what it is.
O positive and or negative.
My nerdy ass trying to answer that question.
Yeah,
you're the guy supposed to know biology.
Counts, I think. Potato. He only knows B blood types.
Oh, crotch bees. Crotch bees. He just specializes in the crotch area.
That's it. The bad part is if it doesn't get endangered, actually listed, then it's like all for naught, all this work.
Then you just froze a bee for fun.
For fun.
You just endangered it a little faster.
Just a little bit.
Tell them, if you don't make this bee endangered, I'm going to keep freezing them one by one.
I will personally be responsible.
Right to your governor.
Of the species.
Of the crotch bee.
Twin said twice baked is the best form of potato. Tommy, what's your vote for best form of potato?
Best form of potato. Oh, okay. Man, it's because I watch too much food videos on TikTok. There's this like French method where they slice it ridiculously thin and then layer it. And so it's like a thick layer, right? It's of just potato, right? Thinly sliced potatoes. And then the way they cook it, it's like this terrine and then they like cut it up. It's apparently the best thing ever. If that's too complicated, then tater tots.
I saw that for the first time on Netflix.
You know what I'm talking about?
5-Star Chef. One of the chefs made it in that show. And I was like, what is that potato stack lasagna looking sauce monstrosity that you constructed in there?
It looks amazing.
Well, Jaws with the unpopular opinion that I like crinkle cut fries. Some people hate crinkle cut fries, but I love them.
No crinkles.
No crinkles, no cuts. Well, guys, we are approaching the end of our show here. We're going to keep on drafting for a little bit, but I did want to give some reminders before we headed out. If you're not already following our guest, Tommy, go and fix that right now. A great analyst and a great person. You want to make sure that you're following him and check out his Breaking Bread series that was award nominated last season. They are phenomenal reads, truly phenomenal. After you follow Tommy, make sure you head on back over here. And if you haven't subscribed yet to this YouTube channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We will be back tomorrow. Wait. Actually, no, we will not be live tomorrow because of the Fantasy Football Expo. There will be no show on Friday, but we will be out in Canton. So if you guys are in Canton, please come say hi. Come up to us. We would love to hang out with every single person that's going to be out there. So come find us.
Except for you, Mr. Scampers.
Except for you, Mr. Scampers.
Oh,
but I'll give you one belly rub.
Are you
going to be out there in Canton?
I'm always bummed that we're not out there. A couple of members of the team will be out there, but yeah, I will
miss
not.
you, Tommy.
I will miss you too, JL. And I'm so glad I got to see you at Scott Fish Bowl. To be honest, that's my mini expo. You know, there's a good amount of people there that I get to, rub shoulders with and see people in the community. It's great to see like Troy King fly out. Finally get to hang out with him. Scott Fish himself. And a little teaser for Breaking Bread 5. It's going to be with Scott Fish. So I got to get that finished up and out before the season starts. But yeah, look out for that one. We're going to do a quick little article on Scott. We went out to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles before the draft and had a good time.
Nice.
Love that.
Not fish food. You talked him out of that?
No.
I can only get him to eat flakes usually.
Yeah, usually to raise the flakes with him. Sometimes we got to find like a little bowl of water to put it in for him. It's ridiculous.
So it's not.
So humiliating every time we go to eat with him.
Come on, guy. Every time.
Every time. I just want to go back quickly to Twins' comment about twice baked potatoes because they are fire. I don't know if they're the best, but they are fire. My mom makes those every holidays, and way too much work, but delicious.
How do they not burn? Sometimes I cook them once and burn them.
I know, it's amazing.
Don't mean like just because you cook it twice, you can double it up and you never burn the potato. It makes no sense to me, is what I'm saying.
Like magic.
Magic potatoes. Magic potatoes.
Magic
I think that's the perfect note for us to end on today. If you guys are going to be out there in Canton, come and say hi to us. If not, we will see everybody Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern time for some more of the fantasy football game show. Another huge thanks to our guest, Tommy Moe. Thank you to everybody in the chat for coming and hanging out and drafting with us today. And we will see you guys on another time.
Ba-ba-da-boobity. Dang, I